Guys, what does it mean for a culture when there are thousands of children missing in America or being sexually and physically abused? People are filming it and uploading it to the internet every day. There are places that we go on this show and things we talk about that is hard to hear anywhere else. It's dark, but if we don't talk about it, if we don't expose this stuff, no one's going to. I mean, what does it mean for a nation, I guess, when there are 290,000 photos? You heard that number right. 290,000 photos, guys, and videos of child sexual abuse being uploaded and downloaded on the internet every day. Or how about this? Why is our federal government withholding the Epstein files still from American citizens? We're living in a culture void of good, strong, dangerous men. But today, one of the few dangerous gentlemen in America is joining us on the show today. His name is Victor Marx. He's been on once before. He's a dear brother to me. And we're going to talk about where the libertarian, sexual revolutionary, free the nipple worldview has led us to in America today, and how Christian men in America ought to fight it. As we tell you on this show often, unfortunately, if you're listening to this with little ears around, doing dishes without headphones, or you're in the car, this is a warning. The content in this episode is rated R at least. This is your official warning, okay? No angry emails. Listen, we have to talk about what's going on in this culture. Often the most evil things in America are also the most hidden evils and injustices. Like the most evil stuff happening in the country at the largest levels are the things that are almost never talked about. They're brushed under the rug. And that has to change if we're going to change hearts, if we're going to break hearts and boil people's blood to hate evil again. Victor Marx is one of the most dangerous, courageous people I know. And honestly, I don't know why he comes on my show. I mean, the guy is like the most sought after, beloved speaker, encourager, fighter, but he's here to inform you and us about some of the darkest underbelly of America. Follow us on Rumble. Help us reach the next generation, to awaken them and enroll them in the fight against evil. And when you subscribe at Rumble, you help us continue to get the word out if we're ever canceled at YouTube. Go to thewhiterose.life, and join us at the White Rose Resistance as we're mobilizing the church to tear down the high places in our last stand moment before it's too late. Go to thewhiterose.life, join at $35 or $70 a month. That's called Ally or Air Support. And you get your weapons sent to you. You get engaged. Join us on our app. Let's get into it. This is the Seth Gruber Show. Victor Marx, man, welcome back to the show. I still don't know why you agree to come on with my little humble show here, but you're a big deal. People know you're a big deal, and you're. I heard this guy use this phrase, "dangerous gentleman." What does that mean?
Well, the best compliment I ever got from my wife, she was like, I've never dated a gentleman. I was like, oh, all right, I'll take that. And then I think it just kind of progressed where my life and things we've done, putting the word dangerous before gentleman was the right fit. Yeah. So ended up writing a book on it, and it is affecting men in a great way. Actually, women are reading it too.
Yeah.
So this is something that has shocked me on how well it is doing.
Aren't you doing a big event too? coming up, or a big gathering thing with this dangerous gentleman idea and men?
Yeah, we've started, because of the outpouring, we've started the Dangerous Gentleman Society.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that is where we believe men of like passion, mind, can be encouraged. It's not just a movement, it's a brotherhood and a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are launching some stuff with that right now. And we're seeing God.
Something that just occurred to me, Victor. It seems that the most demonic dark evils in the West and in America are also usually the most hidden, the least discussed, and the most ignored.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It is absolutely true.
So we like men and Americans just kind of coast through life. You know, hey, I want to pay the bills, feed the kids. I want to be a good man. You know, hey, I only look at porn every other week.
Right.
Whatever the junk is. Just trying to, meanwhile, 630,000 babies had their bodies flushed down the American sewage system last year because of the abortion pill. So 63%, 1 million babies murdered last year because of legal abortion. 63% of them were the pill, which means that their mothers flushed their bodies down the toilet. They didn't go back to the abortion center. But guess what? Now there's aborted fetal tissue in our water. All across the state, new study, they're finding mifepristone, misoprostol abortion drugs, because you're not even supposed to flush wipes,
right,
or diapers, or stuff like
drugs.
that, or drugs down the toilet. But you can flush the entire skull and body of a murdered baby down the toilet. So that's happening. And then how many kids are being are there missing kids in America? What the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Why does no one talk about this? It's the most evil stuff that you and I fight. Yeah. And it's the stuff that is least comes from the pulpit, is least discussed in the church, and is most ignored.
I think the reason why,
just because Satan operates that way?
He does. He operates in the shadows, but also men, pastors, leaders won't talk about something if they struggle or have a past.
Yeah.
And I think to me, murdering children or abusing children, it's like this.
Yeah.
And, God's called you to prevent the murdering of children. God's called me to protect the children in the womb.
Yeah.
But certainly when they're out. And I'll tell you, the biggest problem in America that is avoidable, but is causing unbelievable havoc, which will continue the cycle of abortions, is the perversion of sex with children. And
did you know there's like this almost direct correlation between when child abuse numbers started rising right after Roe v. Wade? Bet you couldn't have predicted that one.
No.
Right. Like child abuse cases get way worse shortly after we codify abortion through point of birth in all 50 states by the Supreme Court in 1973. Turns out when you start treating babies like commodities and blobs of tissue, that affects your view of children, and child abuse cases get worse.
Yeah.
So all this stuff goes together, but All Things Possible ministry, what's your like laser focused fight for people who haven't heard you?
Yeah. In this realm, we started a task force called Protecting Children's Innocence. And we've been helping traumatized kids. We've been helping, even doing rescues, recovery, inserting risk into some very nefarious groups, ISIS. We've affected cartels. So doing work abroad, there'd been an uptick of what's happening in the U.S. I was like, wait a minute. And that's when we studied it first with the think tank and then developed a task force. Right now, just so the viewers and listeners will understand, on a daily basis, pictures and videos of children being sexually abused And just pause for a second to think of what that means. Don't gloss over it. It's almost like abortion. Well, what's a DNR? Wait. What? And you explain to people, same with child abuse, whether it's someone's foreplay, just stepping on a child's face,
Goodness.
beating a child, and you hear the child yelling. And I'm talking women too. Women will do this. And then everything that adults do, they do to children.
So this is not like, oh, a couple weird cults in America. You're talking like on a regular basis,
Massive.
daily basis, people are filming the physical, sexual abuse of children.
Yes.
They're filming it.
And
they're profiting, and then they're
and they're transferring it. Now, I will say this. It's not always about money. People say it's about money a lot. There's one aspect, but the other, the actual images and videos are the currency. The perversion is so deep. So 200, you gave a statistic about aborted, murdered kids. In America, on average, 290,000 videos and images are transferred a day in the U.S. A day.
Every 24 hours.
That is only peer-to-peer. There are more. There's
290,000.
Yeah.
That's only America?
Only in the U.S. 85% of it gets done, transferred, while people are at work.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so like these are people that they're like abusing their own children.
A lot of it.
And then they go to their 9-to-5 job, and during lunch break, they upload this. And
a lot of it. And it's just users as well, because you've got
goodness gracious.
But the majority, about 85% of these things are being transferred while people are at work, because they can hide the IP address. They're working at whatever corporation work. They're sending and receiving. It's not just late at night in a hidden tunnel. So
these kids like this in America,
mm-hmm.
they're getting abused every day. And it's not stopping. No one's stepping in.
I'll put it into perspective. The Epstein Island deal.
Yeah.
I get so tired of people say, show the list, show the names. And I don't care whoever's at the, in positions of authority right now. There's a reason why they have it. There's just a reason. I tell people that is a flashbang grenade to get everybody to look right. What, 200-300 victims at the most?
I haven't talked to you about that before. Why can't we get the stinking list?
It's simple. Money, position, and power. And I tell folks, while you're trying to get the list of what you never will.
You think?
Never. It's one, because
turns out sexual perversion is not a political problem. It's a everyone problem.
It is. And do you know the fastest, this is going to shock some people, but the fastest growing demographic of, people say child porn, but the actual correct verbiage in law enforcement and what we do is child sexual abuse material, CSAM. And CSAM, the fastest growing number of users are 20-something-year-old young men.
Good Lord.
And it's because they've been looking at porn since they were 8, 9,
Since
10.
they were 8, yeah.
And
Victor, people say we can't really eradicate this. We can't really solve this. We can mitigate some of it. This is what people say, okay? I don't believe this. I'll tell you why in a second.
Mm.
But they say the problem's too big. I mean, like, it's the internet. It's like the internet's everywhere. Now we got AI. All the problems all around the place. People know how to get around things, IP, all this stuff. There's no way we could actually handle this. Yeah, I don't believe that after 2020, dude. After all the contact tracing, all the ability to shut people down, I believe we have the infrastructure and power to deal with this and nearly eradicate it if people had the will to actually do so. Am I right?
100%. And that's actually what our task force does. Last week, we signed, I think, somewhere around 50 MOUs, Memorandum of Understandings, and we stood up a task force, our task force, in the Tallahassee, Florida area for the entire Panhandle. We have HSI, sheriff departments, police, all coming together to hunt pedophiles, to source and hit targets of where it's being produced and transferred, and to rescue kids. I will say this, the problem is huge. The problem's, you can't arrest your way out of it. But it's folks like us that are coming up alongside, by, through, and with law enforcement to say, what do you need most right now? Oh, gosh. We need an analyst. We need an upgrade on software because it is a technological war. And then the other aspects. So our goal is to move the needle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from the beginning all the way up to prosecutions. A fellow was just caught with 1,000 images on his computer. He was prosecuted. This was in South Carolina. And the district attorney there ended up doing the prosecution, all this stuff. The guy got 1 day in jail.
No. What state?
South Carolina.
South Carolina?
Yeah. So here's what I need people to understand. When they see on social media or news, 63 people arrested in a sting operation for children, I'm like, great, don't stop. Follow the names. On average, those people you see being arrested are only paying a $100 fine and being released.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the guy that got 1 day, he did a plea bargain.
So is it DAs that are not taking this seriously?
No, some are. Some take it very serious.
Okay.
Most.
Like, because you and I would say, am I right? Life in prison or public executions?
Yeah. Which some governors are starting to appreciate.
What could someone like you in the space you're in, Victor, do with all of the money that the Democrats give to Ukraine? If we cared as much about the people in our own country,
and give me
not to get into geopolitics, but if you had as much 10%. Money as the Dems give to Ukraine, what could we do for American 10%. Children?
We would be, oh my gosh, we would move the needle in a huge way. Bad guys being put in prison, things shut down, kids, there's a saying, and I'm a living example. If you don't protect a child, then you're really going to repair adult his whole life. I was abused as a kid. And that's why I do this. I never forget, it's about them. Yeah. It's not about photos. It's not about, and I'm telling you, we moved away years ago from girls, prostitution, traffic in their 20s because the degradation of our culture accepts fans only, which by and large, they're just prostituting themselves.
Right.
Of course, they've got pimps. But when that happened, I'm said, we're morally on a decline. So the only surviving hope in this is to protect children. There are organizations, minor attracted persons that are having camps, get-togethers. They legislatively ultimately want to make it legal.
But first, we'd like to thank our sponsor of the Seth Gruber Show. We love these people. They're our sole sponsor. Other people try to sponsor the show, and I just, I want it to be values aligned. I need it to be the right people. And my friends at Every Life Diaper Company are just salt of the earth, culture warriors. They found out that almost every major diaper company and baby brand in America supports abortion, like the baby industry that will sell more goods if people have more babies. They don't abort them. Most of them support abortion. Make it make sense. We call that the woke mind virus here at the White Rose Resistance. Everylife.com, America's pro-life diaper company. You get your wipes, you get your baby diapers, you get your non-toxic, organic, healthy, make America healthy again, shampoos and baby shampoos and lotions, okay? And we do all of this. And my wife and I, we have it delivered to the house. So you sign up for their subscription model, you just get it delivered. to the house, and you don't have to do those emergency Walmart runs when you run out of diapers. We love it. And I know the people at Every Life. They're incredible, spirit-filled believers who love America and they love the unborn. Go to everylife.com and use promo code Seth10, Seth10, for 10% off your first order. That lets them know that we sent you, by the way. That's important because then they, you go, hey, we're Every Life because of Seth. And then the white rose grows and then they grow. And then we defund every pro-abortion diaper company because the people having the most babies, conservative Christians, are only spending money in alignment with their values. Go to everylife.com, promo code Seth10, and tell the lady who leads the nursery at your church, right? All the churches are buying diapers. They should not be getting it from pro-abortion companies. Everylife.com, promo code Seth10. Thank you, Every Life, for sponsoring the Seth Gruber Show. Let's actually talk about that.
Yep.
There's a movement, and there has been for some time,
long time,
to fully legalize adult child sex.
Yep.
To make children little sex play toys, which goes back to ancient Roman Empire stuff. Like none of that's new, but dude, none of that's new at all. By the way, do you know who got rid of a lot of those things and started passing laws centuries ago to stop making it legal to sexually abuse children? Christians.
Yep.
Who got political. They got political and they passed laws to protect children and criminalize this behavior. Now we're almost like reverting, right? So it's like neo-paganism. We're just like bringing this stuff back. And like, this is what Kinsey wanted. This is what John Money wanted. Jeez. These people spoke openly about this. John Money, the father of gender theory, okay? He worked with Kinsey and others. He's part of the North American Man Boy Love Association. He's one of their, like, they celebrate him. He's like a hero. To them. So there is a whole, like, it is not a conspiracy theory. Guys, I've studied this stuff and know that, like, Kinsey, okay, Wardell Pomeroy, Gagnon, who later took over the Kinsey Institute, and John Money, like, these people actually wanted to legalize adult child sex. They spoke openly about how children were sexual beings.
Yeah.
Now here we are, Victor. Where do we go?
Well, pause for a second. I want people to understand this because, you're a scholar. You're off the charts with your intellect. That's actually one of the reasons why I come visit you. I'm like, just throw someone up my way. But the film you produced and we watched is the most unbelievable documentary I've ever seen.
Thank you, bro.
And I've made some, but this is something people, listen, if you haven't watched this, you must watch the film. What's the easiest way for them to see it?
Oh, thank you, Victor. Yeah, any church can host a screening by going to the 1916project.com. The DVDs are now for sale at the 1916project.com. And very soon, perhaps when this is released, we'll have announced where it's streaming online for the world. But the DVDs are available in any church or organization like yours. They can host it for their people.
Listen, it's a must. It's not an if. It's a must. Because when people start understanding the truth behind it all, then they'll get empowered.
I mean, Victor, like, dude, there were people, Mary Calderon, she worked for Sanger.
Yeah.
And then she left Planned Parenthood, and Calderon became the founder of SIECUS, Sexuality Information Education Council of the United States. They were the pioneer in comprehensive sex ed with all the porn in the schools today, with all the angry moms and dads at school. They architected that. But Mary Calderon, she wrote, it's in my book, which this goes deeper than the film. She wrote about penile erections in fetuses. Oh. And this was proof to the Kinseys and to the John Moneys and to the Mary Calderons and to the Wardell Pomeroys. Wardell Pomeroy was a board member for SIECUS, and he was having sex with Kinsey. Most of Kinsey's male employees, he forced them to have sex with him. Anyways, no surprise there. But they took this as proof of the sexuality of children because they said, look at this fetus in utero. Look, it has an erection. You know what this means? It means that Kinsey was right. Children are sexual beings. So no kind of sexual behavior is taboo or wrong. Well, here we are now, okay, like 70 years since all, like 65, 70 years since all this stuff. And now we're being asked to call pedophiles minor attracted persons.
Look.
How do we get the Republican Party and conservatives to make, hanging pedophiles great again?
Yeah.
Do you think that hat would sell?
Well, I think what has to happen is those who are in the Republican Party who are pedophiles need to be arrested.
Not a Democrat issue.
No, there's a lot more than
they look to defend it more.
Yeah. But man, there's so much evil everywhere with this. And you talk about kids and people's justification. We run a retreat for law enforcement officers and analysts and DAs who have to watch the videos.
Oh, gosh.
Who have to interview the children. And I remember,
that takes a special kind of person.
You
are one of those. I don't know if I could handle that.
I'm better on the justice part, but we must take care of those that are actually fighting the fight. There was a video of a little girl, toddler, being raped by 2 men. And I just want people to understand this image. Her eyes, after a certain point, she didn't laugh or cry. And her eyes were just, you could tell she was gone. She dissociated. And the men made this video. And it actually, again, it was their currency to get other material. And it got out. Thank God both men were arrested. And this little girl was saved. But I need people to understand it's so easy to gloss over, just like the abortion issue. All these women and men who want to protect the right to murder children, just put them in a room. Let them watch. Let them smell. Let them see what it's like to kill a human life. And, it is an evil that is unmatched. We wrote, we have a film called The Unseen War, and I would encourage people to watch that. VictorMarx.com/unseen. The evil that is behind all of this, we go after. That's another initiative we have. But Susan, I'm sitting here, we hunt and kill demons just like we do pedophiles. It's a real deal. It's real.
Yeah.
And
it's insanely frustrating to always be distracted by ICE, No Kings rally, all the it's like
symptoms.
Right, all these distractions, right, in the culture all the time.
Yeah.
Trump said what? And it's like, meanwhile, we have do we still have 300,000 missing kids?
Mm-hmm. It's when the influx. A friend of mine was the one who took all the kids, unaccompanied children, into his facility. He had the government contract. He was a believer. And he called me and said, Victor, you cannot believe. When they leave here, we get one supposedly wellness visit wherever they've been shipped, and there's no tracking. The government doesn't want to track them. People just need to wake up and understand, look, this is intentional. Just like the Epstein file, this is intentional. And you must support law enforcement, every aspect of it, and organizations like ours that actually getting the hardest work done.
Yeah.
Which is convictions and disrupting the networks that do this.
So for Christians or pastors, Victor, who are listening and there's well, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Where can people start with seeking knowledge, understanding the battle, and you have so many resources, tell people how they can take step one.
Yeah. Buy a wood chipper. And that's a joke. That's a joke. But that's the quick instant. People always go, wood chipper. I'm like, first of all, you wouldn't even if it was a pedophile, would you really put them in? Feet first, head first. It's worse feet first because they get to see themselves once. But I'll say this. The reality is you have to have the true, I call it thick data understanding of what's happening. It's not just made a belief, or I saw a movie, or here. Let us help educate them. And then once you really understand what's happening, listen, I had a guy and his wife sitting at my table. Lovely dude. Intellect off the chart. Actually, his father developed first spy satellite against Russia. Wow. And they still do stuff. But I said, do you have any civilian applications of your work? He goes, have you heard of Google Earth? I have, because we invented that. I went, okay.
Wow.
And he told me what he wanted to do to make a change to protect children. And I told him, that's a very good thought, but it's not based on fact. Do you want me to tell you? Because he was going to give us some money. I said, I'm not taking any money until we can agree. I won't. And boy, once he got educated, he's, oh my goodness. That's the first step. Truly be educated about what the problem is. And then we can show people what's being done on the front line. And then our guardian retreat that we bring in people to our leadership training center in Colorado. We bring in law enforcement. We help them with their mind. We're doing blood work, mind mapping. We're de-stressing, giving people spiritual hope. And then, of course, we're training them, all the other stuff. Yeah. But it's that's the biggest thing. Go be truly educated, not just moved emotionally, which is important.
Yeah.
But have the knowledge of how do we really. Yeah. And it's by organizations that are doing the deal.
Well, thanks, Victor. That's why we're saying it's a last stand moment. And again, people get confused by that. I'm not saying like we have till next October. I'm saying it could be 5, 15, 20, 40 years, but
I don't think it will be.
You can't go too much further down the path of baby killing, kidnapping trans confused youth from their parents and selling and distributing violent child porn, abuse material.
Yeah, but
without losing your civilization forever. This stuff is real. It's happening, and it's time for the church to wake up. Tell a website people can go and learn.
Victor Marx with an X.com. Check out Dangerous Gentleman Society, because I want to raise up men.
Yeah,
because that's who we need in the fight. Women are doing the deal, but it's time for men to step up.
It's a simple saying, but it's very true, right? Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. And then a cycle starts all over again.
Well, and I'll say this. The moral state of our nation if it stays here, God, his wrath won't come on us, but he's going to let us reap the consequences of our own choices. Look, in my lifetime, no one's ever gone after Iran like this. And I served under Reagan, Iran-Contra deal with Colonel North, who's a friend. I don't believe people understand how quickly our nation can turn. Very special operations teams, the intel community I'm involved in, they said people better be ready for cyber attacks because that's Iran's specialty. And a little bit of disruption go a long, long way in the number of people in our country right now because of the millions that were let in. There are cells.
Yeah.
There are cells scattered throughout the United States. And again, it's evil that motivates it. But it's a great time for Christians to rise up.
Yeah.
It's a time for us to shine.
Amen. Amen, bro.
And thanks for being a leader, a courageous, dangerous gentleman. You're making a difference.
Thank you, bro. It's good to run with you.
Yeah.
So much more we could talk about, guys. Check out our other episode with Victor Marx, victormarx.com. Learn more. Until next time, I'm Seth Gruber, and this is The Seth Gruber Show.